Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Samuel, a second year medical student currently studying in Russia, and on this channel we'll talk about how to be more productive, how to study effectively, and generally my life as a medical student. So if you're up for topics like this and you want to see more videos on these topics, then a sub to the channel would actually be an amazing thing to do. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out on any video that drops on this channel every single week. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I manage my time as a medical student, a YouTuber, and a graphics designer. Of course, I'm not a pro at this. I still have my mistakes sometimes, and I'm trying to correct them to be a better time manager in the future. And I've come to discuss these tips with you guys, so you can also take some of these tips with those you have already been using before to actually figure out a better way to personally manage your time. When it comes to time management, what a lot of people think about is being able to do all the works they have to do on their work desk at a particular point in time. But personally for me, when I think about time management for me involves having enough amount of sleep. And this might actually be a far-fetched wish when it comes to having school in a medical school. Also for me, being a good time manager actually involves me being able to do what I freely want to do without the time constraint, or being able to play games, watch some videos on YouTube, or actually spending enough time with my loved ones. Another thing we have to realize, there's a foundation of time management, and I feel like if we can all understand the foundation of time management, each and every one of us will be able to specifically carve out a plan or a way to actually manage our time, and it's going to work best for each and every one of us. What we have to realize when it comes to time management is that we are actually the controllers of our time. We own our time. Yeah, each and every one of us, we have 24 hours in a day, and we own or control what we do with those 24 hours every single day, and we choose to do whatever we want to do at any given particular point in time based on our priority list. So early in the morning when I wake up, I might prefer to actually watch some videos on the YouTube after my devotion and all of that. I might prefer to watch a video on graphics design, watch MKBHD's video on some new tech or something like that, when I actually have some schoolwork or some projects to actually work on. And this does not mean I don't have time for those other stuffs. This just means I'm intentionally choosing to do these particular things. I'm intentionally wanting to do these things, and I'm doing them over the other one. One very perfect example in my life of this particular wanting to do a particular thing at any particular point in time is about a month ago. I took a lot of pictures on a Sunday afternoon of people in church, and the pictures were very much over 100 pictures, and I was meant to edit these pictures and send them out. Probably, or the best thing to have done was to edit and send them out that same Sunday, that same evening. But I was actually intimidated by the amount of pictures I took that day, and by so doing, I didn't actually open the pictures at all. I just figured out to do some other things. And the next Sunday, I took some other pictures, but out of the new pictures I took, I intentionally selected some of Eve's pictures and edited them and posted them, and I posted them on my WhatsApp. And someone was actually telling me that I had time to edit Evelyn's pictures and even post them and caption them, and I didn't have time to edit the pictures that I was meant to send out since like about a week ago. Of course, I can argue all day. I have a lot of things to do. I was very busy. But I still know that wasn't actually the best thing for me to do, because I can't really say I didn't have time to edit the pictures. I was just intentionally choosing to do other things over editing the pictures. Another thing we have to realize is that sometimes the control we have over our time, the control over our time we have, can be influenced by some other things like deadlines and all. So I might have an exam tomorrow, and because I have an exam tomorrow, I won't say because I'm the controller of my time I can do anything I want, and that night before I decide to watch a whole movie or binge watch Blacklist or something like that. So because even though I have the control over my time to binge watch Blacklist, but because of priority and because of deadline and because I'm in the medical school to actually study, not to watch movie, so my control over my time, what I'm meant to be doing, is actually influenced by the deadline. This whole idea of having control over our time brings me to the first tip, or actually the main tip about time management, and which is priority, setting your priority or having a priority list. I feel this is basically the foundation of time management. If you can hack your priority list, you'd actually have a lot of time to yourself, and you'd be the best time manager you can actually be, because I feel like every other thing around time management actually moves on the wheels of priority list. In order to be able to effectively manage our time, we have to first be able to set our priorities right. Personally, for me, I love to set my priorities according to importance, or according to deadline due to time. So I might have some things on my priority list that are extremely urgent, probably a project I'm meant to submit in 2 days, or a picture I'm meant to submit this evening, or some things that are not so urgent but are also important to do. Probably I have an assignment I'm meant to submit in 2 weeks time, or in a week time. It's important for me to do it, but it's not as urgent as what I have to do today or what I have to submit tomorrow. And also I might have some things on my list that are not really important and are not really urgent, or probably important but not extremely urgent, that I might not even need to actually be thinking about them at this point in time. What I basically love to do in my life, or what everyone loves to do, is to work on the urgent ones first. And of course we have to work on the urgent ones first because we have to submit them due to the deadline. What I love to do in my life is that because of what I work with, or the apps I work with, or the things I do, I am allowed to work on more than one project at a particular time. Now this is very tricky, and I want you to follow me attentively on this so that you get the whole picture and maybe you can apply it in your life. Because of the apps I use, maybe exporting pictures, importing a video, or rendering a video for a smooth playback, these things actually take more than 10 minutes to actually work on themselves. There are some things that you just start importing. Maybe probably you're importing about 100, 500 pictures. They just start importing, and maybe due to the app you are using, it might take more than 10 minutes. Or maybe when you're rendering a video, maybe the video is very long and you're rendering it for smooth playback, it might take a long time. And because of this, I'm allowed to not just sit down and wait, but I'm allowed to work on another project. And this is why most times when I'm working on Filmora, when I'm editing a video, probably even as I'm editing this video, I'm always, most times on my laptop, when the Filmora is open, my Photoshop is also open, because when something is happening in Filmora that I cannot do, or probably Filmora is working on its own, I'm immediately switching to Photoshop, and I'm already editing a design that I'm probably meant to do, because I always have a design to do on Photoshop. So while a work is actually going on in Filmora, I'm also starting or continuing a job in Photoshop. Now, I don't really think this is multitasking, because if it is multitasking, then I'll probably split my screen and be editing and be doing Photoshop at the same time, and probably that won't help me, because I might not be concentrated in one of the two, and this might result to getting a job I'm not actually satisfied with. So it is not actually multitasking, and it is also multitasking, but multitasking in a very healthy manner. So for me, most times when I'm done with a Filmora job or video editing job, at the same time I'm actually also done with 1 or 2 or 3 designs already on Photoshop. And so this makes me have a lot of time, and this helps me to be more efficient with doing the works I have to do. Another good way to actually manage our time is to say no right away to some things that you wouldn't want to do, or you wouldn't do, or you wouldn't love doing at a particular point in time. So Ali Abda actually calls this saying hell yeah or hell no. I think he's got it from a particular book, and this is one thing I don't know how to do, or this is one thing I'm learning to do in the hard way. I'm a kind of someone who, even if you come to me and say you want to sew your clothes, and I don't know how to sew clothes, it wouldn't be really comfortable for me to tell you no. And because of this, I've found myself doing some jobs that I shouldn't be doing, or some jobs that I don't like doing at all. And because I can't actually say no, maybe in fact it might be something I know how to do, probably it's a video editing job, maybe probably it's a design job, but because of the things I have on my desk, the job I haven't done, or the job I'm meant to do, I still can't say no, but I'm meant to actually say no. And this one I'm learning in a very hard way. So it's important for us to actually say no to some things that you probably can't do, or will be too stressful for you to do if it won't cost you. Of course, if it's an exam, you have no choice but to do the exam. You can't say no to the exam because maybe you feel like you can't do it, but obviously it's an exam, so you have to do it. And that is where priority also comes in. So the more prior ones, you don't get to say yes or no to them. You just have to do them, and do them well. But some that are less important to you, or they don't affect you, you might be able to actually say no to them, and you should actually say no to them if it's actually going to give you more time to yourself and make you have a lot more free time in your hands. The next thing that actually really works well for me with time management is to start a work early, and I love doing this a lot in my life. Of course, for the prior ones. And most of the times when we try to do something or rush to do something at the end of time, we are most probably not satisfied. 90% of the time we're not satisfied with the result, and we feel like perhaps if I had more time I would have been able to do this in a particular way. And also this actually works very well in studying, because if you start early studying for an exam or start early studying for a test, you'd have enough time to restudy, you have enough time to revise, and this is going to help you assimilate, and this is going to help you understand some stuff in school better. Now here's something I actually personally carved out for myself. Rest is actually divided into 3 parts. When I'm doing a particular project, I divide my rest into 3 parts: the long, the longer, and the longest, in terms of time spent during the rest. So the long rest should actually be the one before the project. Now, the fact that I called it long does not mean it has to be extremely long. Long could actually be 1 minute. It's just relative to the other time I'm actually talking about. So the long one, the shortest one in the range of the rest, is actually the first one that comes in place before the project. And this is what this is probably just resting, probably just playing game, having a hot shower, cold shower if you have the luxury, doing anything that you love to do before the project. This actually helps you get your mind together. This helps you get yourself focused when you move into the project. And depending on the project, the longer rest that comes in between the projects might not be necessarily spent at a go at once. So you might actually divide it into breaks. Now the longest rest should come after the project, and this is where you reward yourself. This is where you look at the job and you're happy with what you've done. If you want to know more specifically about time management, specifically for studying, or how I study in school, or how I use a particular app to study, I have a video which is currently about over 5.5k views. Currently, how I use Focus To Do app to actually study in school, and how this app actually rewards me before, during, and actually after a particular project. So you can actually, I'll link the video up there so you can actually check it out and watch the video. You can also watch the video, maybe not specifically for studying, because these tips I actually talked about, or what the app can do, actually helps me in doing other stuff too, not only for studying. If you want to study right now and you need a study buddy, you can actually click up here for my real-time study with me motivation or real-time study with me playlist, and you can actually study together with me for any particular duration you like. And also, if you've not seen this video down here, you can actually click the video and see it, because some good stuff over there. I would love to know how you manage your time. If you have some tips that I actually didn't talk about, you can drop it down in the comment section and we're going to have a little chat over there. So that's been it. Catch you guys very soon on the next one. I remain Sammy Fleck, and peace.